Hi, and welcome to Variant Edition, your first weekly video podcast show. I'm Ricky.
And I'm Mike.
So, last week on the show, we had our intern here.
Yes,
Luis.
the fantastic Lewis. I'm sure you remember him.
Yeah, fantastic.
We remember him.
Fantastic. He managed to piss off a few people.
And burn a few bridges.
Burn a few bridges.
Managed, though, we did rebuild them.
We built them.
For a better and brighter tomorrow.
With gum and popsicle sticks.
Gum and popsicle sticks. Some rubber bands and some adhesive strips.
And duct tape, because it fixes everything. Beyond the point, today on the show, we have the new Elseworlds Series 2 figures we're reviewing. We take a look at the new JLA. We have a discussion on that. What are you looking at?
I'm taking a look at a couple things, but you know what I'm not looking at? New Avengers. Want to know why? Because when a book is that good, it doesn't need to be reviewed. You should just pick it up and read it.
Good point, Mike. Good
Absolutely.
point.
But I am taking a look at X Factor, and I'm also taking a look at a couple other comics that I'm keeping in reserve, and you guys just have to wait and see.
And we have a spotlight today. Well, at least in my review. At least I consider a spotlight. Cross Bronx. I got to take a look at that. Michael Avon Oeming's newest book that's coming out. So I have a review on that. Look forward to that. And we have a plethora of stuff to get to on the show. But next is Nick with the news.
Hi, I'm Nick, and this is the news for August 30th, 2006. Longtime fans will remember that Variant Edition went to the very first New York Comic Con back in February, and we are planning to attend next year's as well. And from the news coming from the con organizers, it seems like it will be a big one. The con will be moving upstairs at the Javits Center to a space twice the size of this year's con. Even with an extra space, con organizers are already announcing that they have already booked all the dealer space available, and the rest of the exhibition hall is 90% sold. Con organizers are attempting to secure more space at the Javits, but it's unknown at this time if they will be able to. As far as programming, the con is taking suggestions for panels. The first New York Comic Con held over 165 panels, and they are looking to fans for feedback and suggestions on panel for the 07 show. While the panels haven't been announced yet, a complete exhibitor list can be found at nycomiccon.com. You may already know that DC Comics got its own line of US postage stamps earlier this year. DC's Best got to adorn your snail mail, and now it's Marvel's turn. No release date has been set, but according to the virtual Stamp Club message boards, and their mothers, Marvel Comics characters will get their own stamp series in 2007. The lineup includes Spider-Man, The Incredible Hulk, Submariner, The Thing, Captain America, Silver Surfer, Spider-Woman, Iron Man, Elektra, and Wolverine. Expect 20 stamps in the series, with each character getting a portrait shot and a classic cover shot, and hope for a Daredevil stamp in Braille. Another week, another comic gets optioned for a film. This time, Variety is reporting that Rogue Pictures will produce Devil's Due Lost Squad. Created by Chris Kirby and illustrated by Alan Robinson, Lost Squad tells the story of a group of Allied soldiers who battle the occult forces of Hitler and other supernatural threats during World War II. According to Devil's Due Josh Blaylock, Lost Squad is a paramilitary X-Files unit with a red, white, and blue 1940s all-American vibe. Part horror, part action-adventure seems to be good. In other movie news, Dead West, a tale of zombie Indians attacking a frontiers town that built over village, is headed to the big screen according to Fangoria. The graphic novel by Rick Spears and Rob G. tells the story of a bounty hunter that stumbles upon the cursed town of Lazarus, where residents are battling the formerly dead residents. Adam Green is set to direct. No word on a release date for either film. A few weeks ago, we reported on WowIO putting comics online for free, and that Top Cow has plans to open an online store selling digital copies of its comics. Well, add slave labor graphics to the list. SLG Publishing is now offering digital copies of a few of its comics for 69 cents an issue. I bet you're thinking, hell, at that price there must be some nasty DRM on those files. Well, think again. SLG is releasing its digital comics in the popular CBZ format. Any Mac or PC computer with the right software can display the comics. Currently available titles include Super Scary Monster Show and Emo Boy. More titles will be added soon, with Pirate Club up next. Seems like a pretty slow news week this week, but it gives me a great opportunity to remind any creators out there, if you have any announcements of new or upcoming projects, feel free to shoot us an email at info@variantedition.com. So that's it for the news this week. I'll see you later in the episode with my reviews, but up now, it's Ricky and Mike Swisstack with a look at the Series 2 Elseworlds figures.
Alright, so now it's time for our toy review, and this week we have the Elseworlds Wave 2. Now, the Elseworlds, as we've seen, the first wave was very impressive.
Yeah, very nice.
Liked them a lot. Wave 2 now, and yet again, I have nothing but good things basically to say about every one of them. But except this time, it wasn't just the normal Elseworlds packaging. They also did a Kingdom Come packaging, which was kind of strange, but I like it. Let's go down the line real quick. We have the Gotham by Gaslight Batman, Red Sun Batman, and Superman. And we have Spectre, Norman McKay, and Jade. We took a look at these. Pretty detailed look. So what did you think about the whole series overall?
I like it. There's a few little things I have wrong with it, but they're minor things. Overall, they're very nice. The packaging difference does catch me off guard a little bit, but hey, that's a minor thing. Out of the figures, the one I like the least probably would be the Jade. She's an awesome color. She's a very nice sculpture. She got a little bit of the man jaw. A little bit man joy right in there. But that's a posable head, so you gotta live with these things. But I mean, they're really nice. I love the Red Sun Superman. I love the Red Sun Batman. They're probably my favorite.
Mm-hmm. The one thing about the Jade, too, is on all the paint jobs, there was shading. Hers was just kind of flat.
Yeah, she is.
There wasn't much shading done to it. The colors, yes, nice, vibrant. The hair was 3 different colors. It looked great, but just very flat colored. The other thing that we noticed was on the Red Sun Batman, where they painted the jaw and his hat came down.
Yeah, it's a bad masking job.
Yeah, the paint went onto the hood, so it looked a little funny. I was like, what the hell is that? And he pointed it out.
It's a minor thing, but
Very minor.
It does catch the eye. But the rest of the painting on him, especially on the Red Sun Batman, is awesome. He's got the dirt splattered on him. He's got little, ring on his belt that's really super chrome. They really did a nice job, and they're awesome sculpts. I mean, they really, really look like they did in the comic, at least musculature-wise, the way the fabric lays on them, stuff like that's just awesome.
Yeah.
There were some questions about Superman's eyes.
Yes. Nick looked at him, he was like, oh, what's wrong with his eyes? And we're all like, they look awesome.
See, I got to go back and look at the book, because they may not be perfect to the book, but I think they give him such a wonderful, wonderful, menacing kind of...
He's got that crazed look.
Yeah, he's got a nice crazed look.
And it's very fitting to the character itself. The Spectre and Norman McKay one. Spectre's a very basic, plain character, but they took Alex Ross's kind of take on Spectre in Kingdom Come and just, bang, put it into a box, and that's exactly what you got. Norman McKay looks great. Yeah, I mean, detail-wise, the beard and the shading that was done, with the wrinkles and everything in his face, looks awesome.
It's beautiful.
Yeah, so, I mean, overall, yet again, man, the Elseworlds coming through. I've absolutely, beside the minor things that we brought.
Yeah, and they are little things. I mean, for the quality of action figures that most companies are putting out nowadays, they're top shelf.
They're top shelf,
really,
absolutely,
really nice.
Absolutely. And with a lot of figures coming out lately, these are definitely top shelf.
Yeah.
Because there's been a lot of really bad stuff coming out. But, so, I'd say pick up all of them. I mean, they're all really great, man. And they're all very fitting to the books themselves.
Yeah.
So, good stuff. Definitely worth the pickup. So that's our tour review this week, and we'll see you next week.
Take care.
Okay, so my first review this week, I'm starting off on a very high note. I took a look at Cross Bronx. My first point I really want to make here is that the past few months, I read a lot of Marvel, I read a lot of DC. And, stuff that's been going on, the Unmasked Spider-Man, cool, okay, but I read Cross Bronx today, and the point I'm trying to make here is, I read all the mainstream stuff and all that, and nothing, gave me the feeling of, after I read Cross Bronx, the utter shock and amazement at how good of a book it really was. Now, this book has sex, drugs, death, gore, and a very good plot to it, all wrapped in one. Amazing artwork by Oming. Yes, we are friends with him, and yes, we try to do everything that he does. It's beyond that, though. If I didn't know him at all, I would still give this book the review I'm giving you now. It was phenomenal. If I could tell you to read any book, this would be the book. The plot of the book is just very simply, there's a big murder of a gang. They find a gun. The gun is a former officer's who's dead now. and it's traced back to his widow's home. They find the gun, and they go there to start questioning her about it. She knows nothing of it. The cop ends up saying some wrong thing to her. She gets very upset, kicks him out of the house, and you go to find out that the reason why she got upset was because he made mention of her daughter, and her daughter used to be a dancer or whatever, but her daughter was raped, beaten, and thrown out of a speeding car. You get a really nice, full page look at what happened to her through all that. And just overall, this book, the plot is so thick, and it has so much. I'm holding it in regard to probably my favorite book right now, which is Walking Dead. It's probably at that level. Nothing else I'm reading right now is probably going to hold my interest like this book is. And the other thing was, on top of Oeming's art, Ivan Brandon's writing. Now, you have two masterminds of comic books coming together, and DC is trying to do this now with Frank Miller and Jim Lee. Not working out too well, is it? No. You take these two guys, and it just clicks. And there's Ivan Brandon's writing mixed with his art, phenomenal. I couldn't think of a better pairing for a book like this. Definitely pick this up. No questions asked. Pick it up. It's only a 4-issue arc, and I really hope it does very well so they go and do more. But buy it.
So, I've finally read Fear Agent. I'm really pissed at myself for not looking into this earlier. This book is amazing. I finally got the first volume of the graphic novel put out, written by Rick Remender, drawn by Tony Moore, whose art is incredible in this comic. If you like anything by Tony Moore, buy it. If you like anything good, buy it. Fear Agent is everything that a comic book fan could want. It's an excellent story, excellent characters, amazing designs of technology, robots, and space creatures. There's nothing to go wrong. And Tony Moore, yet again, finds a way to make chicks a bit hotter by giving her sideburns that curl. You can't go wrong. So anyway, Fear Agent takes place in a quite a distant future, because it's a post-apocalyptic world, but you're not on the world yet. So, main character, he's an alien exterminator. You see him do his thing in the beginning of the in the beginning of the graphic novel. Comes out, blaze of glory, just saying, I'm an alien exterminator hired for blah blah blah. Gives you a nice recap of his simple life at this point, and you just know that this guy doesn't mess around. He's got a big belt buckle with the state of Texas on it. Demands whiskey for when he goes out to kill aliens. Awesome guy. Things go down. Runs into a chick. What was her name? I believe her name was Mara. Something odd, not quite common. I guess it's a future thing. In 10 years, I'll be familiar with it. So things kind of go on. They go to another planet. They find out that the whole cities are just destroyed. It's a barren wasteland, and the reason for that is these buggy little robots keep trying to kill living things. What are you going to do? Not going to go into it more because it has an incredible twist. Well, not really a twist. Actually, yeah. There's a huge twist and a really heartfelt ending at the end that makes you go, why did it only have to end there? Makes you want to go read into more comics, which is one of the things that the comic book industry likes to do. Beyond that, just to sum up this story, it's amazing. It's a nice kitschy 50s yet somehow new age sci-fi tale. The technology in it isn't so clean, pristine, right out of the box. Everything's worn, rugged. It's the whole story is based on Boba Fett's costume. It's, high tech, but it's beat to crap because he's used it a lot. That's pretty much what the story is. Like I said before, go out and buy this.
I have waited for this day for a very long time. I've got my grubby mitts all over Trials of Shazam, and it was coming out of DC's Brave New World, the whole Infinite Crisis wrap-up type of thing going on there, and it was just really great. You see Shazam as the new Shazam, and he is fully empowered. He has more power than he had before because, the Wizard Shazam is dead and gone. So he's got way more power than he even knows what to do with. He actually goes in and he stops for a second and he goes and helps Zatanna. She's fighting this demon, this iron something demon. I don't remember the name, but come out of an iron dimension and it was weird, whatever. She's fighting him. And Shazam just kind of shows up. He's like, no, you got to get him wet because, water is the only thing that can kill him. Well, how do you know that? Well, because I just know it now. Magic just comes to me. I have a full understanding of everything that's going on in this new age of magic. Well, that's all good and well until he goes all the way to Norway to, fight a giant frog. Yes, a giant demonic frog. Then it's just, fun little fight, and he fries the frog with lightning bolts. Then something weird happens. He goes to stop, land on a bridge, change back to Billy Baxton to help these kids out of the van. But when he says Shazam, he gets basically flattened down through the bridge, and when he comes to, his uniform is now entirely white. His face is white. He's got pointy elf ears, and now he's got a long flowing white mane. What does this mean for Shazam? It's probably that, he got this power, now he's going to learn how to use it. And since it's Trials of Shazam, I can only assume that they're going to be testing him throughout this entire series to become the new Shazam that he should be. Pick it up. It's a great read.
Okay, last week the guys just got back from Mid-Jersey Comic-Con convention, and they brought us a whole big sack of comics to choose from Marcosia, and a great big shout out to those guys, because what a wonderful bag of comics for us to choose from. One of the things I picked out to read and review was the Lexian Chronicles, and this was something I was really originally interested in looking at. I might have forgotten to pick it out of the previews guide, so I was lucky enough to take a look at it, and it's a really, really nice read. It's kind of a young girl's coming-of-age story about a young girl named Rena. It starts out when she's a baby. Unfortunately, her mother gets killed when a pack of really tough guys come and attack their father on their way back to their little compound. Now, the mother dies, meet up with another guy, Sam from the Lion Clan. He helps Koss, Rena's father, take care of Rena, help her grow up, show her how to use some weapons. And she's kind of a shy, introverted kind of girl. She likes drawing, she likes art, she likes going off to her little cave. Unfortunately, there's a leopard clan that's coming along. They want to take over everything, and they pretty much tell Rena's father, if you help us out, we'll let you live, we'll let you go on. But if you don't help us out, we're just going to decimate you. And unfortunately, these were the guys that were kind of left over from when Rena's father were kind of killing off tribes to make everybody's life just a little bit better. The story goes on, the Leopard Clan comes, and now Rena's forced, in agreement with this Leopard Clan, to kind of get hooked up with the head of the Leopard Clan's son, and she's not too happy about it. He's kind of brutish. Now, the artwork in this is really nice. Some people, they didn't like it a lot. I've talked to a couple of guys, they weren't sure if they liked it a lot. I kind of liked it because it was more of like an animated series rather than just reading a comic book. So, I would take a look at this. It was a really good read, and I can't wait to see what happens in the rest of the series.
My next review is JLA issue 1. Now, this is a book that had issue 0 2 weeks ago, and now you have it now. This is where you find out who the Justice League is and the big thing that's going to go on. We'll discuss that later. Basically, the guts of this is Batman, Superman, and Wonder Woman discussing who they want, who they don't want. And in the midst of all this is a big red tornado story. That's right, Red Tornado. Basically, Red Tornado's lover, wife, is very sad because he's died before. He's a machine, and his soul always comes back to his body. He reactivates, and everything's all good again. Except this time. This time, Red Tornado realizes that he just wants to be human. He wants to have, like a human touch with his wife. And who does he go to? Dead Man. So, goes to Dead Man, is talking with him, and they find a body, basically. And it's a dead body. It's perfectly good to go. It's got low mileage on it. So he goes, and you go to find out, Red Tornado ditches his suit for this low mileage body. And that starts out toward the end of the book. Overall, it started off very slow. However, of course it's going to pick up. I'm really not questioning the writing or the artwork at all. It was all very good. But I guess this is just to kind of set up their first arc of what's going to happen. Because, let's just put it this way, Red Tornado's body that he's not using, his robot body, is still being used. So be on the lookout for that. Definitely keep reading it. It has a lot of potential, as probably most of you already know. So pick it up.
All right, one of the other items that I picked out of the bag from our friends at Marcosia was the Dark Mists. This is a great little read. I was attracted by the artwork to start with. It's very beautiful. It's got a nice washed out watercolory kind of look, very Japanese looking, and it takes place in 1936 Japan. the secret imperial Japanese government is trying to help rat out some of the Yakuza that's been causing some problems in and around the district. These geishas are asked to kind of keep an ear out on what's being said with some of their, business contacts. Instead of just doing their usual, tea ceremony and dance, just listen, see if they can get any information. One of our little geisha ladies, she hears something about a little drug bust that's going to happen, informs the government. Unfortunately, her head gets mailed in a box to one of our government officials. So, things don't work out so well for her. It's at this point that the government realizes they might need some protection or learn a little self-defense. So they take these 4 or 5 young little geisha girls off to a, supposed businessman's, ranch for a couple months over the summer, and they train them how to be samurais, a little bit on self-defense. They train them so well, as a matter of fact, that at the end of the story, one of the main characters winds offing one of the secret imperial Japanese government guys. So I really would pick it up. I'm really interested in figuring out what's going to happen with the rest of the story. Is there going to be more kung fu action, or is it just going to be more story? So take a look at it and pick it up.
So Uncle Sam and the Freedom Fighters #2, DC, and I was very happy with it. That's basically all you need to know right there is Uncle Sam and the Freedom Fighters. It's carrying on, and the Shade operatives, Doll Man, Ray, a Phantom Lady, and the Human Bomb, and Doll Man decided to go up against Uncle Sam to take him down and arrest him for the government because he's a criminal. Unfortunately, this goes terribly wrong because it's Uncle Sam, so of course he defeats the Ray, defeats Doll Man, defeats the Phantom Lady, and totally calms down the Human Bomb. He convinces them to switch sides to become the new bunch of freedom fighters, and at that point on, it's time to go and rescue Firebrand, who was put in prison in the first episode. So, first issue. Fuck. Keep going?
Yeah, just say who was put in prison the first issue.
Who was put in prison the first issue. Now, they successfully do it, and unfortunately, a guy by the name of Bigfoot gets a big nuclear hole blown in his chest via the Human Bomb's hand. I didn't really know who Bigfoot was, so I didn't see this as a problem at all, but apparently it was like, oh my god, you killed Bigfoot. But at the same time, it's like, yeah, you killed Bigfoot. It's a great book and a great new story coming out of Infinite Crisis, and I say pick it up.
So now, Uncanny X-Men. Uncanny X-Men, great book. The artwork is another book it's phenomenal, and especially this week's. The cover is amazing. Me and Kevin, actually, we talked about it before the show, and he pointed out, he goes, look at this cover, and it's just Iceman, kind of melted out, and his melted out body, formed the X-Men logo, and Mystique's making out with him, but she's not, because you read the book, and they weren't making out. Anyway, what's basically going on now is Aurora and Northstar are taking over the mansion. So basically the entire book, very entertaining book this week, very little downtime. It's just an all-out fight with the Uncanny X-Men and them two. And right now, Northstar and Aurora are very powered up. Very hard to stop, and seems like all the Uncanny X-Men are having a big problem kind of taking them on. So it goes through the entire book, and Rogue is, fighting with Northstar, and it's a very good fight scene. It's a few pages. Turns out that right at the end, she needed a little saving. Who comes to save? Cable. I always like seeing Cable in books. Great character, So, comes in, saves her ass, and, the book was just basically kind of the end of, the Northstar and Aurora thing, but it's not, of course. They have to keep going with it, which I'm quite okay with. There's, in my opinion, there's a lot more potential to this book. The artwork, phenomenal. Writing, so-so. It's still a good book, and I'd still say definitely buy it, because I think in coming issues, because they're still going with their arc run, see where it goes. I like what I'm reading now. I'm not going to say, I don't like it. Definitely buy it, though. It's definitely worth a read.
So this week I took a look at X Factor, and usually I'm a big fan of this series, but I gotta tell you, I was disappointed in the turn they made. I'll talk about that in a second, though. This was a great story setup as far as continuing it on and moving along with the whole story with Singularity investigations and X Factor basically telling the government, you can just sit on it and spin around for a while. That's probably going to get edited, but that's okay. But yeah, this was just a really great story. Apparently, Multiple Man sleeps with two chicks. over the course of one night, giving him a new meaning behind multiple man. Yeah. Anyway, Guido turns out to be quite the bad guy. And I didn't like that because I was really fondly attached to him on this team of X Factor, and apparently he's working for Singularity. He actually kills the Professor, which is telling them that that virus that kills and only mutants and hunts them down, that sort of virus. Yeah. Well, they were making that again. Singularity was in order to kill every mutant that was left. And a whole 198 of them shouldn't have been that hard to kill. But yeah, it was a good comic. I wish they had kept Guido good. That's all I'm saying.
All right, so now it's time for our discussion. Last week, our giant-sized 25th episode. It was a big deal. I hope you guys enjoyed it. But now to the new discussion this week. Right now, we're just going to go over the Baltimore guest list because I actually just looked at it a little while ago. I'm pretty excited. So Mike has his list and I have mine. We're going to go over the big names that we want to see. So first off, we'll start it off with Ryan Otley. Artist for Invincible is going to be there. Joe Quesada, David Lloyd, Eric Larson, Frank Cho, Paul Pope, Howard Chaykin, Matt Wagner, Tom Brevoort, I think that's right, sorry, Kurt Busiek, and the Lunar Brothers are going to be there. I'm looking forward to all of them.
I'm looking forward to meeting up with our old friend Michael Avon Oming.
Always good time.
We also got Paul Pope, Eric Powell, Dan Slott, Mark Texera. I hope I said that right. If not, I'm sorry.
We like your work.
Well,
so
I love your work. I just can't say your last name. I'm sorry. I'm not perfect. Robert Tinnell. Thank you. Billy Tucci, Neil Vokes, the great and wonderful Neil Vokes will be there again. Always a great guy, and if you see him in a bar, definitely have a chat with him. He can spat out movie stuff left and right and totally change your mind about things that you were set in stone about. Thank you, Neil.
But now, we're going to go with Justice League. Now,
the brand new Justice League.
Well,
spanking new. Look at it, still in its plastic. It's amazing.
Well, this is my variant. So
that's your variant.
It's in the plastic. Anyway, this was something I was really looking forward to, and as you'll see my whole review on it, but it just lacked for me. They started naming off throughout the issue. They were going with Batman, Superman, and Wonder Woman, kind of discussing who they want in the Justice League again. And that's kind of like side plot, and they juggle back and forth in between this big Red Tornado story, which is kind of like, I don't get it. Yes, I like Red Tornado. Is he a substantially strong character? Not exactly, in my opinion.
I think you can't say he's a really strong character when you kill him off 30, 40, 50, 150 times already. I mean, how many times has he died? And he's
the
back
book has
now.
said 7. And his wife, lover, has grieved 7 times, but each and every time his soul has returned to his robot body, and
so
things went back to normal. They skipped around in a
But you figured the third time she'd just, he'll be back.
Yeah.
He's just dead for a little bit. It's okay. We'll rebuild him.
But then
we
this
can
time,
make him stronger.
He's working with Deadman to get a regular body because he wants to touch a woman.
And feel, which is what every superhero wants to do.
It was a little weird.
Kind of creepy, but in a good way. It's actually just creepy in a bad way, but kind of interesting at the same time.
You stop that.
I'm sorry.
So let's go over the list of...
Well, I'm excited for us all the back, because look, there's no Jon Stewart. It's Hal Jordan. Woohoo! Good choice. Excellent choice for the Green Lantern there.
Even though they still had to sell it to Batman. Dick. But, so Superman, Wonder Woman, Green Lantern, Black Canary, Red Tornado.
Speedy.
Which is still kind of yet to come.
Hawkgirl. Black Canary.
All right. I want an email back from this. Here, let me... What's his name? Right there. That one. Mike, who is that? We don't know. So we need an email.
Blue Lightning guy
that... I have no clue what he's
from. In a blue and black suit with gold trim.
Yeah, I have no idea who it is. Right now, they've thrown around names like Power Girl was brought up. That's not on the variant cover.
We missed this chick. This chick's got some kind of powers where she can,
Jungle Spirits.
Jungle Spirits. Don't know who you are. Welcome to the Justice League.
I think the list could have been better for the Justice League. My opinion. However, there is one good side to this. I don't see Aquaman, do you?
I don't see Aquaman at all.
Yes.
which is a great victory. I think he should have been dead when they ended the series. I don't know why they brought him back as Sword of Atlantis. Sorry, all you
Homo
Aquaman
Mermanus.
fans that may be out there. All 2 of you.
Yes.
But carrying on.
Yeah, so overall, it'll be good. Don't get me wrong. The writing just kind of slow. They're building stuff up. The art was great, but hopefully it takes a big leap from where it is now, because I think it has a lot to offer. This first issue was,
Oh, and Red Tornado might be bad.
oh yeah, they steal his robotic body at the end. They use it for evil.
And in the next issue, there's going to be Yellow Tornado and Blue Tornado and Green Tornado and Indigo Tornado and Violet Tornado and Teal Tornado, and all the other colors of the rainbow will be there. Because rainbows equal happiness in Tornado Land of Kansas. I have no idea where I was going with it. Anyway, so we haven't mentioned it lately. You can email us directly, Mike at variantedition.com, Ricky at variantedition.com, statues at variantedition.com if you want to talk to the other Mike, Kevin at variantedition.com if you want to talk to him about a comic, or if you want to, plug yourself in some way, shape, or form, get on the show as far as your artwork goes, whatever it is.
What the hell was with your reviews today?
I have no idea what was
They
with
were
my
all
reviews.
bad again, Mike. You always get bad reviews.
Not nearly as bad as Claws, which don't buy it. I know it's sold out, but if you own it, you should be sad. Be sad, burn the comic, use it for, I don't know, a coaster.
You hate comics, don't you? You just hate them.
I
You
hate
them all.
comics. That's the truth. I have nothing to do with comics. I only read what they give me, and I just sit at home
We
and I watch
spoon-feed him
television.
the
That's all.
information. It's all in here.
That's all a lie. This is
all
my
in-
comic vault.
So check out those websites.
Fireproof.
Another thing that we have to say, our YouTube, our resolution on there kind of isn't the best because, well, it's YouTube. Go to our website. There's such a better download from there. Subscribe to us on iTunes. It's clear as day, and we've gotten many compliments on our quality of video that we use. So definitely do that up if you can't stand the YouTube things. I personally can't handle the YouTube things, so I just download it. It's way easier. For me, at least.
You can also hit us up on the forum. Sometimes we answer. Sometimes we just like to watch you guys talk.
Or sometimes we just let Kevin handle it because...
Sometimes we let Kevin handle it because he'd be more tactful.
Yeah. The F-bomb isn't exactly the easiest thing to say.
And it would
to
be
somebody.
all over those responses sometimes. I'm sorry
Sometimes.
to say. But we're angry people. And coming up next week, we got an interview with Anthony Johnson.
Anthony Johnson. Wait, he's from England.
Yeah. I don't know how he pulled it off either. Stay tuned next week to find out. And
Yeah, well, Kevin handled that, so we'll see how magical Kevin did it.
looking forward to his editing, magic, genius, prowess, and everything else that is a good adjective right there, because I can't come up with any more.
Very good. So, guys, thank you for tuning in, and we'll see you next week. Oh, wait, it's off.
No.
That's off? Alright, we rolling, Sean?
And I'm Mike.
Alright, whenever you're ready.
Hi, and welcome to the Variant Edition, your first weekly video podcast show. I'm Ricky.
And I'm Mike.
So...